kind of right along with this, what we're doing here as well is building a resilient mindset. And what I mean by that is I was talking a lot about this as, COVID came along, and that what we're doing during this time of transition is you're testing your limits. You're testing and finding out what you're made of. And if you can embrace it that way, instead of thinking that it's against you, if you can take it like, I'm taking this on. Yeah, there's more in me here. I get to, instead of I have to, I get to choose. My mindset, I get to choose the direction of where I'm going in my career path here. So I want to unpack these phrases, that these statements that I'm talking about here. So this is such an important piece that you might want to lean into. Whatever situation comes along, excuse me, I'm just going to take a little drink here. So any circumstance that happens to us only is either good or bad according to how we interpret it. So I use a quick example of, you got a flat tire. You have a choice in that moment of getting into, oh my gosh, this is so bad, it's really messing up my schedule today, and getting into a frenzy, right? And it's a bad thing. Or you can embrace it and say, okay, what I call neutralize it. This is what it is. And then take the higher road of, I'm going to just get to the solution and move forward, and look at it in that perspective. When we can neutralize any situation, we then can engage the brain at functioning at that CEO level instead of going to panic mode down here. And this takes practice. And this is just, it's the beginning awareness of, am I functioning at the lower level or where I am in this process? Excuse me. So my mentor talked about, her husband came home one day and said that he lost his job. They had young children, and she kind of initially went into a panic mode, but she had heard similar teachings as what I'm sharing here today. She heard that you can actually set aside that panic and go back to it in 3 days. It's a really powerful kind of thing. Okay, yes, it's not optimal, but I'm going to worry about it later. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to focus my energy on what I can do. Similar, here I am again with the respond and react. So she could have reacted and gone into a tizzy, oh my gosh, and a panic, or that pause. And I'm going to give you a system later on that really that you can use over and over that helps with this, but put the pause on, and now I get to choose how I respond. You might want to write this down. It's a great highlight of what this means. Response ability. You have the ability to respond. And I'll tell you, just this kind of just popped in terms of the contractive and the expansive thinking. Every time we have a negative thought about ourselves, we might have negative self-talk, any of those things that we're letting in, every time we let that in, and especially when we fester on it, it's impacting the memory center of your brain. So when I talk about all that I'm talking about, we're looking at overall health and how to create a brain that's serving us. So we want to be really careful about all that negativity that we might let in, because it's impacting that part of our brain. As I shared, we're during this time, your transition, you're building grit, you're up leveling. Again, it's how your perspective and how you take it on.